to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich with life.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast, where we are featuring the athletes of the 2024 CrossFit Games semifinals. So pumped to have with me Karisa Stapp. What's going on, Karisa?
Oh, nothing much. How are you doing?
Good. This is my fourth show of the day. You athletes think you have it tough.
Oh man, no, this sounds hard. I get nervous to do one interview. So.
Yep. This is number 4 for me. So, but I love doing it. I wouldn't want to do anything else in life. But then to talk to you guys, many of you have become my friends over the years. And this is your 3rd year in a row you've been on the show.
Oh yeah. Yes. So I'm always excited to be back. It's always exciting.
Yeah. Got a little streak going. Got to keep it going.
Have to keep it going now.
Yeah. Oh, but I heard right before we went on the air that you said you were not planning on going individual this year. What was the plan?
Well, at first we had a plan. Like I was just going to have a plan of just going a little easier this year. We're going to do like a team just for fun at CrossFit Billings. So we had a team like all set up, and then things just kind of kept happening throughout the year where it's like maybe like one of our guys, his Achilles snapped. And so that was kind of just the first thing. Then we were all just like, maybe this isn't the right year for team. And I was thinking maybe I would just take a year off competing because after last year, I was like, maybe I just need like a year off. And then I decided maybe I'll just do quarterfinals for fun. But then I didn't want to just do quarterfinals and not try. But I was like, you know what? If I end up in the top 40, I end up in the top 40. If not. But now that I'm in, I'm really excited to be going back to semifinals. So
when the quarterfinals were over, you were on the outside looking in, like 42nd place, I think it was.
Yeah. So I was, I didn't really feel very great with my quarterfinals workouts overall. Just like I said, I wasn't really expecting to go individual, and I was like, oh, just do these for fun. And so after being outside the top 40, I was like, well, I don't know. I know that there'll probably be a couple people that didn't end up going individual, like either going team or masters. So I was like, well, there's still probably a good chance I'll be in, but if not, then I'll just have to be okay with that this year. And then, after all the penalties started happening, I bumped up a little bit. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm in, we're doing it. Ready for semifinals now.
So penalty gate happens. Are you nervous about your workouts, or because you were just doing it for fun, were you okay with whatever the outcome was?
I was okay with whatever it was going to be. So I was like, because I think we talked a little bit last year, I've been doing a lot of writing and things like that too. So like, if I don't make it, then just put some focus onto that, refocus next year. Because I wanted to try to go individual again next year. So I was kind of just okay with whatever happened. And I do always believe, I believe that God has a plan for us too. So I'm like, you know what, whatever's going to happen, happens either way. Like that's the path I should be on. So yeah.
Were you on the I Love It teams earlier this decade?
I was 2021. I went with I Love It. Yeah. So.
And you were there for a couple years, and then last year you moved back home.
Yeah. So I'm in Billings now, and just because my family all lives out here, so it's been really nice to just kind of be closer to them. And my sister just had a baby, so it's nice being by the family. And then so we were gonna make like a Billings team this year, and which we might end up doing that in like the next couple of years too, just because we have a good little group here. So I might end up doing that, but it just didn't end up being the year for it this year.
So after being home for a little while, was that the right choice?
I think so. Yeah. I think I just needed, I definitely can get, I feel like this probably happens to a lot of athletes, but like the all or nothing mentality where you just kind of put other things on your life on hold and then just get ultra focused on competing and all that sort of stuff. And I think just being closer to home and just allowing myself like a little step back, I think I'm enjoying competing and training a lot more now than I was. So yeah, I think it was a good
If
choice.
you're not enjoying it, what's the point in doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think like I started feeling that like a couple years ago. I was like, I'm not enjoying it that much. And then last year I am like having a couple injuries going into semifinals. So I like took some pressure off myself competing. And I actually had like the most fun ever competing last year. And so like, well, maybe I need to just like not take it as seriously, like still be in it and focus, but like not be like that all or nothing mentality kind of with it. So, and I think that's made it a lot more enjoyable this year.
Yeah. And I think I interviewed you last year at the West. It was an interesting setup there, and that large field was something different. But you had a good time.
Yeah, I did actually have a good time. Yeah, just because I feel like I didn't have as much pressure like on myself, like that I just mentally put on myself. I just kind of went out for each. Obviously I'm nervous before each event and everything, but I kind of just went out with each event, like, you know what, I can only do what I can do. Just gonna have fun with it. And yeah, I had a fun time. I didn't have a fun time on the ruck vest ring muscle ups because I failed every single rep, so that one wasn't fun. But all the other ones were fun.
So tell me how this works. So you're at I Love It. Gabby's at I Love It. You have Mitchell and Carrie there, and then you all go now you're all individual in the West. Is it like a reunion?
It is. It is. I know that this year, I don't think Mitch is going this year. I think he's taken this year. So I don't get to see Mitch and Carrie, but I get to see Gabby. So it is going to be like we've been messaging. We are going to stay together, and that's how it was kind of last year too, a fun little reunion. And then yeah, so it's going to be a fun time getting back together with Gabby, and yeah.
And she qualified really high.
Yeah, she was like 7th place. So that's exciting.
Yeah, because she was one of she might like the second interview I've done for the second or third, and yeah, like getting to know you guys over the years, like I don't think people understand how much like it makes me root for you guys and look for you on the leaderboard and like where are they this year and do I get to talk to them again and.
Oh man, well I was excited talking to you. I feel like this is such a fun thing to do, and yeah, so yeah, I'm excited that Gabby, like she was so high up there, and yeah, it's just been. I think it's going to be a fun time. So we'll see.
So when you get there and you want to, it sounds like that's what you want to happen is to have a good time.
Yeah. Yes, that's like I feel like I'm trying to just be really appreciative of everything and just go in and enjoy everything. I like the events a lot this year, especially the running one, of course. Like that's going to be great.
Of course. Well, and that starts your week off right.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. I'm like, first workout is going to be a good one. So I feel like day one's gonna be really good, and it might go down a little bit after that. But I feel like that I'm like the same thing. I can't really do it. Like where I'm at is where I'm at this year, so I can only do what I can do. So I'm trying just to kind of go in with each one like that. And I tested all the workouts last week, and I actually did better on like the legless rope climbs and ring muscle ups than I thought. So I think it'll be fun.
Well, and they didn't weight you down on the ring muscle up.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, you know what? If there's no ruck vest, I won't be failing muscle ups for the whole workout. So that's going to be better.
Right. Makes you enjoy it better.
Oh,
yeah. What would happen if hypothetically Gabby qualifies and you're there? Would you be just as excited for her?
I'll definitely be excited for Gabby. Yes, I think like I said, I think just because like this year I wasn't really even expecting to go individual. I think it'd just be really cool to see. I mean, I obviously, of course, still want to go too, but like even Gabby going would be super cool.
I mean, like Mitchell's been so close every year. Like I think I would be excited if Mitchell, because I've been following him for years, and he's like just been on the door.
I know.
But so let's get back to you. So event 1. If people don't know about Karisa, the girl can run. Like there's no doubt you can run.
It's my favorite thing.
Do you look at event 1? Do you look at that and say like, man, I want a top 5?
Yes, that's definitely. I feel like the last couple of years, the long events, because I got 3rd place in like that long running event 2 years ago, 4th place in the long one last year. So I definitely want like top 5 in that running workout. And I like that it's mostly running, because I feel like the other parts have those long workouts were kind of the spots I kind of fell behind a little bit. So I like this workout a lot.
So did you look at Europe at all today?
No, I'm actually going to later. I haven't looked at yet, but that's what I need to do tonight, is catch up on everything that's been going on. So I haven't seen what's happening yet. Is there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched it. I don't, so that you can't see the run too much, because they leave the facility and run. And CrossFit, it's not streaming event 1, so it's like just a still camera in the arena.
Mhm.
And they have the bar set up in a square, so you come in and you go to your bar on the square, and then you do your stuff, and then you have to go around the rest of the square and out. So everybody has to run the same distance, which makes it interesting, because you start on your specific spot in the square.
Mhm.
And so naturally some people get out the door quicker because they're closer to the door, but that means when they come back in, they have to go all the way around the square to get to their spot, right? And so I think the thing I learned the most is, if you're a great runner, it's how do you manage the clean and jerks so they don't take too much out of you.
Mhm. Yes, that's definitely how I felt last weekend when I tested it out, because it's definitely like the 10 clean and jerks going into like that, first 400 of the next 800, you're definitely kind of feeling it a little bit. So for me, I'm like definitely doing like not going to do any touch and go reps, just definitely all singles. And then just like do a rep, take a step, come back, do another rep, take a step back. That way you can kind of keep the heart rate down a little bit on that as much as you can. And then, and then just try to hit the runs.
Yeah.
As hard as you can.
Yeah. No 2 athletes are the same, but if anybody's close to what you are, I would say Amy Kringle would be that person. She's won a couple of the long events in semifinals past. She was winning the event the entire time until the last 4 clean and jerks.
Oh man. I need to watch it.
Yeah. So, and she took a very different approach to the clean and jerk than other athletes did. She actually went touch and go for many of them.
Oh man.
And so I wondered in my head, if she would have went singles sooner, or maybe all the way through, could she have finished in first?
Oh yeah. I do feel like that singles is the way, like just for me, that's what I think. Maybe it does work good for some people, but when I tested it, I feel like that singles right from the start, because I feel like it kind of keeps your heart rate kind of the same as it is on the run and not too much of a big jump. Because when I do touch and goes like that, it really spikes my heart rate.
So the person she finished with went singles the whole way and then went touch and go on the last round, when that was the end of the workout, right? You don't have to go back out.
Yeah. At that point, I'm like, okay, if I feel good the last one, I'll do touch and goes there. When I practiced it, I still did singles because I'm like, oh, I'm a little tired. But, yeah.
That's what made up the difference. She couldn't hold the bar for more than 2 reps in that last round, and the other person went like 5, 3, 2, something like that.
Man, yeah, there's gonna be a lot to think about with this one.
There was only 3 seconds difference between.
Oh man. That's a tight race. That's a fun but like stressful race.
Right. So yeah, so is it really just top 5, or are you trying to win it?
I mean, of course, in my heart, I'm like, I want to win it. But we'll see. I know that like Emily Rolfe is going to be there, so I'm like, she's really good at that. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I think it's just going to be like how much do I want to push the runs and be uncomfortable in that, and then because I do think that for me, since I am a better runner than, I feel like that weight, the 125-pound bar is not super heavy, but still, like I feel like I'm better at running than the lifting. So I feel like for me, just singles on that way I can like really maximize on the run if I can.
And you took third at that one at Granite Games. It was a lot of running, but it had like sled pushes, right?
Yeah, sled pushes
And
and like the burpees over the line and assault echo bike, all that stuff mixed in with
so it
it.
had some power output stuff with it too,
Oh
with
yeah.
the sled pushes and the echo. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll be fun to watch.
That's definitely the one I'm most excited for. I'm just like I'm ready for that one.
Is there any of the other 5 that you kind of look forward to?
I actually really like event 2 as well. I practiced that and I was kind of nervous about that one, but I actually really enjoyed it testing it. And I do think it's just that like more like longer type of workout. Well, that's not like super, super long, but it's more like steady pace, instead of just like, I don't like the super fast sprints very much, but I feel like that one is a little more steady where you just manage it the right way and stay a little more composed during it, which I like those kind of workouts. So day 1, I really like both events on day 1. But
Well, you're only doing one event on day 1.
only one event. Oh yeah. Yes. In my head, I keep practicing the first 2 on day 1. And so I'm like, oh yeah, don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3 this year.
Oh man. Yeah. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
Is that good for you though, that like the last day you're an endurance athlete. So on day 3, you have to do 3 workouts at the end of a weekend. There are going to be some people that just the wear and tear of the weekend is going to get to them on that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like having more stuff. I do feel like that's good for me for some things, like ring muscle ups at the very end. I mean, that's something, even though they're not weighted, that's still a movement that I'm not super excited about. So I do think that's gonna be the biggest thing for me, is knowing I have the ring muscle ups at the last workout and just not getting wrapped up and trying to do too big of a set to start and just being like, okay, I'm gonna be sore. That's gonna be the movement I have to manage a little bit if I want to still finish that workout.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. But I think overall it's going to be good. I'm excited I don't know about the handstand walking, if there's obstacles in that or not.
Nobody knows yet.
No, so that's what I'm excited to find that out. And then I'll know, because I really like handstand walking and I like rowing. So if it's no obstacles, I'm really excited for that one. If there is obstacles, I'm like not as excited.
Okay. So last year when we talked to you, we talked about that you are also a writer.
Yes.
So, and that was one of the reasons you had moved back to Montana, was to have some time to do that.
Yeah.
Focus on that. So
Yeah.
I know I've actually read some of them, but you have been posting online some of your writing. How's that going so far?
It's going really good. I started, because I'm coaching a lot more and stuff now this year, so I don't have as much time as last year, but I've definitely made it like still a big chunk of the stuff I've been doing. And so last year I had finished my first novel, and like looking back now, just with another year of learning stuff, I'm like, okay, that wasn't as great as I thought. So I actually wrote over the summer. I wrote another first draft of a novel that I've been like going through draft 2 the past few months, and I just finished like the first third of it. I've been publishing on this website called Substack. I've been publishing my chapters on there, and so I feel like really good with this book. And so, but the same thing, I'm like trying to like not rush through it, just be really intentional, just like fitness stuff, like learning as I go, making a good base with it. So that's the biggest thing I've been working on this year, is trying to get that book finished. Well, the second draft finished, because I have it all written out. And that's the one I do feel like I could potentially publish. So that's kind of that's why I think I was okay if I didn't make semifinals. I'm like, I can put a lot more emotional focus onto the book. When I'm competing, I'm like, want to be in competing mode. So
yeah. So when you put it on Substack, is it there to get input from people to see, like, do you need to make changes, or is it just so you're like, feel like you've delivered something?
Kind of both, because the nice thing about that Substack is there's just like a ton of writers on it too. So I have been getting, I can share it with some people. Like there's some people at the gym that like to read the stuff. So I put it on there so they can see it. And yeah, you can get feedback from people. And then it's also just kind of a way for me to kind of be building like a writing portfolio, because I've been trying to put other articles on there too, just about like fitness related stuff as well, kind of making like like I call the page fitness and fantasy, because I'm trying to kind of blend both parts of my life in that. So I do write some other articles on there, and it's mostly just a way to like kind of share my writing journey, because I feel like, especially for me, when I look at other writers, I'm like, wow, they're so good. I'm not that good, so I probably shouldn't be a writer. Like, no, that's not what you do. Like, just like fitness stuff, you can't like start CrossFit and be like, oh, I'm not a semifinals athlete when I start, so I should not just try. So I think that's just like a way to like, because I like to see people's journeys, like seeing them progress through stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing on that, is just trying to show like my journey with it, and share my novel that I've been working on, because I am really excited about this book, so it'll be good.
Well, and I'm sure it's just like a lot of things in life, right? You talked about fitness being that way, that you don't start as a semifinalist. You have to kind of work your way to it. If I go back and watch one of my old podcasts, like it's cringy, right? Like what was I thinking?
And now you have a great show.
Well, I'm definitely more comfortable with it today than I was back then. And like I told you before, I didn't take any notes down because I've talked to you enough, and I've been following your career, and like I could never have done that 3 years ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, just like I feel like even that with coaching too. Like I used to get so nervous coaching classes and coaching people, and now I'm like, yeah, just so comfortable being in front of people and coaching and like seeing cues I need to fix in people. Same with fitness and writing. And yeah, like I said, like I look back at my book and I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, that's cringy.
So when you're editing your book, do you have a hard time saying stop editing? This is
it's weird, because I definitely like the first draft writing a lot more, because I can just like be in my own world and just kind of write what I want to write. And if there's like a line a character needs to say that I know needs to sound good, and I can't think of anything that sounds good, I'm just like leave a blank line, and I'm like, all right, just keep going. So I actually do like that first draft writing part. I've had to, I think, train myself for it, because when I first started writing, I would write like a paragraph and go back and edit it like while I was writing, and then I wouldn't get anywhere. And I think the past, I guess, just like a year and a half or 2 years that I've really been focusing on writing, I've gotten better at just writing good first, well, not a good first draft, but just like getting my ideas out. So I enjoy that a lot more than the editing. So the editing, I actually have been getting really frustrated editing it, because I'm like, okay, I know like what I need to be setting up in this scene, but if I'm like too tired that day, or like it's not connecting with me, it's just like frustrating, because like it's not working the way I want it to. But then the next day I could come back with like a fresh head and be like, oh, I know everything I need to fix in it. And then those days I can't stop editing. But it's like the good days, I'm like, oh yeah, I can fix this whole thing right now. And the bad days, I'm like, this is the worst book. I'm the worst writer ever. I'm gonna just throw my book in the trash.
Yeah, I tried to do some documentary work last year, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed, like, instead of like an hour with each athlete or a half an hour with each athlete, like spending a weekend with them and then putting together like the whole documentary, right? But I found myself like tweaking and like graphics, like kept tweaking graphics. And at some point I had to say to myself, like, stop it. Like, it's just, you just need to get it out. Like,
Yeah.
And so like I learned, like I had to put hard deadlines on myself, because if I didn't, like I would tweak forever.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think that the deadlines, because that's what I did. That's how I think trained myself to just like be able to write. It's like, okay, this week I have to write 10,000 words or however many words I could fit in that week. Like, it doesn't matter right now how it sounds. I'm editing it later. Like 10,000 words just need to come out, or else I would go back and be like, oh, well, this paragraph, I can fix that thing. And I'm like, no, that's for later.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to do some more documentary stuff this year?
So I'm actually not going to semis this year. I'll probably do, I don't know. I really enjoy it. So I'll probably I think I'm going to pivot to something more like that for a little bit anyway.
Oh yeah, I think that's yeah.
So, but last year, like we followed Emily Rolfe, Kelly Baker, Alex Kazan, and a Masters athlete, Rudy Berger, through the games. And I put that together, and that was awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That stuff is I love that sort of things too, because like I said, I love seeing people's journeys, because we always just see like the end product of so many people, and you're like, oh man, I'm not that good, I can't do that. But then when you see like journeys that people take to get where they are, I think that's cool. So yeah.
And so like my co-host Jamie, I did some like she was my first full length documentary, like I 90 100 minutes long, and it was just her quarterfinals weekend in the Masters division.
Oh man.
And it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. But enough about me, Karisa. We're not here about me. Back to you. So with semifinals coming up, what is a realistic goal for you? Is it just to have fun and maybe learn some stuff again this year?
Yeah, I think like that's what I'm trying to, of course, there's always the part in your head that's like, maybe this year I'm making games. So I'm like, that's going to be there no matter what, I think. But I am really trying to make it like my goal to just go in and like kind of compete with it while enjoying it. It's like go out. When I first started CrossFit, I really just liked being able to, like, even if it was in class or whatever, just going out there and competing and doing what I felt like I kind of knew how to do from competing in college and things like that. So that's kind of my goal, is just to go in and just not get wrapped up in everything else, just focus on what I can do and have fun with it. I would like to have, like, it would be nice to have, like I said, it'd be great to win an event, like if I could win event one, or I think if I could just, place like similarly last year. I know that there was more people in the field last year, so kind of however that evens out this year. So kind of place similarly to last year. I think that there's like 3 events I'm nervous for, like the legless rope climb, ring muscle up, the snatch ladder. I'm not super excited for either. But and then there's the other 3 workouts I feel pretty good with. So I'm like, just gonna have to see how it plays out this year. And yeah, I'd learn a few things too, and just have fun. And it is just super fun just seeing the more years I go to semifinals, the more athletes I get to know. And so I kind of just get excited about seeing all the athletes again, and like, just talking to people that I talked with last year, just you don't see them for a full year. Everyone's training, doing the same thing all year long. And that's kind of cool to reconnect. So yeah, the big goal is just to have fun. But of course, there's a part of my head like, this could be the year. These are great workouts. So we'll see. But yeah.
So my last question is, you have this iconic event, the Snatch Ladder. It's not in your wheelhouse, but it's been done 2016 regionals, 2021 West Coast Classic, and now it's coming back for this semifinal. Even though it's not your wheelhouse, is there a part of you that's excited just to say you've done it and to see how far you can get?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do like that kind of lifting workout better than just a 1 rep max anyway. So there's definitely part of me that's excited to see how far, because my max snatch is 180. So like I could snatch a 175 if I feel really great that weekend and I manage the snatches before it good without time capping. So I definitely am excited to see how far I can get. I just don't think it's going to be like my best placing event, but I am still excited for it, because I do think that's going to be like, I will enjoy that event more than like a 1 rep max snatch, because I don't like the 1 reps very much.
Yeah, you're definitely on the smaller side for the athletes, and your endurance is the name of your game.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely like that stuff more.
Yeah. Well, Karisa, as always, it's been a treat having you on this year. I want to wish you very, very much luck. This what week away now?
Yeah. 1 week. I'm like ready now.
And we'll be rooting for you.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for doing all these interviews too. It's always fun. I always get excited. So yeah.
My favorite time of the year.
Oh yes. Yay.
With that, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you to Karisa for being here. And we'll see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast. where we're featuring the athletes of the 2024 CrossFit Games semifinals. Bye, guys.